recognition they have that not a lot of teams have, right, Monster? I'm trying to think of what Scented Edgy Commandment could pull off as a different play that could maybe give them such a big jump up in the leaderboard, or a same thing with Reverse 2K Day and Mira. So that is a team you have to keep eyes on. With the one game we saw them with that RPG, 15 elimination victory out. If they get their hands on it again, which is very feasible, this leaderboard is going to shift very quickly. That was a massive point game. What, a 60-point game when they're currently on 200? That would change everything.
Yeah, but the difference, like, Dave, Miram, and Reverse 2K here.
Dude, did you see how good that bouncer was? I landed you right here.
They are well and beyond everyone else. We're talking 2 and 3x the majority of the competition here today. So, like, they're playing so good. Like, not just like making it to the end games and all that stuff.
How good my bouncer was. I bounced you up to here.
Winning the most of the fights. And it's those Elam points, man, that really carry them. And, you know, it may not seem like a lot, like 2 or 3 in a round, but you have to think about it. There are so many trios that do not consistently pick up the Elams the way they do.
Yeah, there is. There's absolutely no weakness in
See, I hate how you can't switch to your pickaxe.
We haven't seen from that team is their early game fight. So unless we saw another team try their hand at Dirty Dog, which would be a huge upset for the tournament, we've seen everything else. Their mid game and their end game is phenomenal. I don't think we've seen them lose a mid game at all this entire weekend, Monster. That is a ridiculous reputation to have, especially for a team that's not avoiding the mid game fights. They set up literally on top of them or next to them and take the fights for those extra elimination points. So they really are playing the best Fortnite here right now.
Yeah, listen, again, I keep talking about that average time alive because it's such a big stat.
Bro, dumb.
Like,
stop.
24 minutes is every end game. Like, that is how average.
I'm being for real,
though. They are just there every
bro,
time.
can you break this stuff?
They don't have any plan to, and these fights right here, these are the ones that are the riskiest to take, but you need to for the surge, and that's why we're seeing these big teams clash right now. 14 players need to go down. This is going to mean everything for Squish, Not Panda, and Stow here. They're going to find what they need. Ooh. That was cheeky, but oh my, the Dragon's Breath, the quick drop kick from behind, and he gets put out the game.
And Kaz Riverside on the Zara team that had a lot of promise coming into this one. They're a bit further down the leaderboard right now, going to a new drop, and like I've been talking about, all praise to Reverse 2K. New drops are difficult. I would say Riverside, in my opinion, is one of the smarter players in NA East, puts a lot of preparation into where they're dropping, where they're going to get their surge, how they're going to with their early game fights against Creo at Lazy Lake, because Creo.
Why is it so blurry? That's my question.
We're gonna go over. We're gonna go to Hunter's Haven. They just haven't quite had the success.
It's not blurry for me anymore. When I was lagging, it blurry.
Interestingly, Monster, we saw really popping off early.
Just invited me.
Just leave it.
Falling really short here on day number 2. Their last few games: 22nd place, 27th place, 22nd, 26th, 25th.
Yeah, I had to.
Not move.
When I lag, we get so blurry.
Yeah, it's night and day
for
the
move.
Performances, and you know, who knows what it is, right? We just have to continue to follow along and really try to pick apart what is going wrong for them. Sometimes it's just, again, we hate to say it like this, but sometimes just a little bad luck, right? Sometimes things don't go in your favor. You're not always gonna roll things in the favor the way you want it to kind of unfold, but at the same time, when you had such a strong dominant start, when you're going against all odds and you're making it all work, it's hard to say what exactly is being the difference here.
Ready? I'm gonna headshot the next kid that's up there.
Weeks of qualifiers, we've gone through heats, consistency, everything else has led to us having the best
you just saw that, right?
on the stage here today. And the smallest of errors, the smallest of margins is what makes the difference between a fantastic game and not. We talked about it last game. The first 2 hitting back-to-back snipes got his team into that end game. As I say that, Dusky takes down Day in the feed. That could be potential for disaster for our first place team, and that's what these second, third, fourth, fifth place teams. That's what everyone else in the long as Dusky does finish Day. So right now it is down to Miro and Reverse as a duo. I think the only reboot van that's probably in right now is the one here at Sweaty, and I don't like their chances of getting it off, even if they manage to get away from that one, Monster. That's not looking good for first place.
No, not at all, especially since they have this long rotate to make. This is a far, far western pool, and they're a team that lands.
You know, yesterday, for the last game, Bizzle was the one that won it.
You know, that sweet lead that they had, they've already fallen early once, and we've seen how quickly other teams have jumped up to capitalize on it. If they fall, like,
Booga! Your favorite, friend.
Booga!
You can imagine for these young
He's not my favorite, but like.
We talk about preparation coming into this. Who's done their preparation for a potential water zone? We haven't really seen one this weekend, Monster. You know how much I love them. I find them so exciting.
I'm gonna watch it from behind.
We've got a good one on our hands. We have half land, half water. This is
no one's doing their homework? No
for
way.
any team that hasn't done their homework or preparation, and even a difficult one for the teams that have. The reason why we say this is now, there is only about half the area of the next zone the players are going to set up on. They're all going to aim for that beach. They're all going to pile on top of each other because no one wants to base up on the water. And if the zone then goes north and it goes across that water, ooh, you're in for
They're in for a tough time depending on how this zone decides to flip on itself. Yeah, just a fair, just only a couple options left on the beach here. You really got to get on over and grab some real estate. There's a couple stops.
Imagine having one.
Into Wexi's team, Sypha back there. We saw them get sniped once.
Imagine having a brother that's in 6th grade that sounds like he's in 3rd grade.
Dogs end up falling there. Threats end up falling there. There goes Thrashy. He's down now to Zate as well. So big exchanges happening in the feed here. Dukes is completely wiped out. That means Chap's team is gone from the comp. Man, you know, we were talking about whether or not Chap was going to be able to keep that top 10. You know,
I don't have anything to say.
This is looking like it all just might be over for him.
Looking a little bit grim, like I said. He has found himself at the heart of some of the biggest spawn contests when it comes to finals days. We have Defend the Farm. Again, we have the legendary
I swear, this isn't going to be dumb. Have you heard about the new shotgun that's supposed to come?
Yeah, oh, just what we need. No pumps.
Still managed to come top 10 in those situations as Reverse 2K, our first place team, is down to 10 health. And I don't see him.
Isn't there another gun or two that's supposed to be coming in from Save the World?
Total health. No AR ammunition whatsoever.
Actually, a lot of the guns that we
shells. Reverse
are from Save the World.
Of health right now, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to do anything. They're holding on. They're clutching on for at least a top 17 to start getting a single placement point, but this isn't good at all. This is fantastic if you're cheering on teams like FaZe Centered in 2nd place who just got an elimination, and this is their chance to close the gap. This is what we want to see as spectators, though, Monster.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what we want, man. We're gonna see the race for the finish here. And you know, as every game that goes on, the closer it becomes, the more, you know, these other teams get to really hop up and capitalize on the missing 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place teams in the conversation here. It's gonna be a far draw as well. You can assume it's about as over as it can.
Bro, damn, I'm being for real. Stop.
What?
Gonna need a
what do you mean? I'm watching.
57 above as well. Only 5 players have to go down there, so I don't think Storm Zone is going to be the issue, but that is...
Nah, he threw a crash pad at me.
Single tags right now. I think they're literally
I ran out of him a while ago.
Miro's weapon, his epic assault
rifle,
has no bullets in the chamber. Reverse 2K's rare assault rifle does, so they're swapping hands so Miro, who is on 70 health, can have the best loadout because he is the healthiest player of that duo. That says everything you need to know for our 1st place team. You have to imagine it would be a monumental effort to even get a single more point out of this game. So Jack, Acorn, and Slacks in 3rd place. Commandment sends it Edgy in 2nd place. This is your chance. This is your time to step up. Are you going to make it count, or are you going to go down early as well? I'm selling them out short, though. Reverse 2K might be able to...
I believe it. I did see an airdrop land right above them. I'm seeing crosshairs make it across the water.
Who do you think's going to win it? I'm putting bets on Acorn.
We'll see. As there it is. Miro does get knocked, but it is only a knock, so Reverse 2K is somewhere in this game.
I think they win the game.
Never mind.
Really knows.
Never mind. Polarize and Snake capitalize onto both. They go down.
I'm so sick of this, bro.
They win this game with a 15-point lead. They have to see if that holds as Stretch, Sap, and Zate take the high ground with the Alpha Tarp. That is a Zate.
Yep, it was you too.
They have the eyes in the sky. They've claimed this whole high ground. But as we've seen a lot in the qualifiers and the heats, have they invested too much too early? Can they hold it now as they currently have 6 eliminations on the board out of a contested hybrid? This is an incredibly impressive performance day 2 from Zate's team. Even if they don't bring it back, they're fighting for pride, and honestly, props to them. They are playing phenomenal right now.
Yeah, definitely. And look at this. They go triple metal, keeping it wide and strong here. And now, splitting up the material, they must have caught a great refresher. We don't see them with 6 eliminations.
Dang, these guys are chilling. They got RPG.
The first full moving, so this is a dominant spot to be in. We've saw them grow this position before. It's always zone 7 that's the most interesting, but for them and the loot...
Didn't they win like the first game, you said?
Are they somehow going to
no.
go 2 wins in the first 3
Oh,
games?
yeah, that's Zay. Yeah, you're right.
After having a struggling day 1, there might be a bit of a mess up on the builds there. 1,000 above Storm Surge, so they have got the damage here. Are they getting chopped out?
That's why.
Oh, the whole thing got chopped.
Oh, no.
There it is. Zay goes down. Sap goes down. It's just Stretch. I asked, did they invest too much too soon? Apparently they didn't invest enough as Edgy takes down Jack in the feed monster. We have potentially the most important game on our hands of this weekend as first is down and second capitalizes onto third. All eyes on Commandment, FaZe Centered, and NRG Edgy as Stretch is trying to go.
I'm not gonna lie, they should have it like this.
Plays for Zayt, Sap, and Stretch. I don't know if they're gonna be able to bring this one back, but they're
like, you see how like the loot is and stuff, and the bouncers and stuff like that in Zone? How it's all different?
Position of wealth to be in there. They were so good.
I feel like this, and you're gonna see the team like that.
I like it like that, in my opinion.
Out there, but it's okay. The fact that Sap was even able to get picked up keeps them in the running here.
Clicks! Clicks on height! Clicks! Oh my god! Oh! Come on, yes! Let's go. Come on now.
They're looking comfortable. They got the heals to ride this one out as well.
No, Bizzle's dead?
Into top 5 now too.
Oh, bro. Sorry, connect. Let's go. They get this. Come on now.
Someone came for high ground. Over-invested in the build. He's only got 25, so things are looking familiar. But Booga takes down Riversan, and they might be able to hold this. This is massive for the leaderboard. I still see Illust in this, so 4th place still up.
No, he's still up. Oh no, he fell. Oh dang.
Oh, you're behind. He went back up. And he got one match.
Yeah, and he got a kill. He has mats.
And he got AI
Come on.
The refresh that they need for the material. They have a chance to jump back up. This is your 7th place team who's looking to try and get their second victory out here of the weekend. They've done it once. Can they do it twice?
Yeah, but Kanata's still going. Acorn is still going. They're still in this game. They're still picking up.
Come on.
Although Clicks finds Avery, which is the 4th place team, he needs to stop the rest of these teams that are at the top of the
It went from we were gonna play all night, and here we are watching FNCS.
I don't think they're gonna win the tournament. But I think they're gonna get top 10.
This is the Clicks and Bizzle that we have seen compete in the recent times. This is that dominant holding pattern over the competitive scene lately, but they have to continue to step it up here, and they're putting it up though.
Macwood and Kanata doing it as well. We've seen a lot
this
of
team's
legendary
gonna win. I
3v3s
think
this weekend. We've seen big teams clash at the
kills
end. Who is it going to be? Is Bucky, Macwood, and Kanata all still alive? Centered, Edgy, Commandment all still
They
alive.
need it bad too.
Names in this as full trios. Can Clicks and Booga hold on to this on the high ground? As right now, Macwood, Bucky, and Kanata are playing these mid-ground layers to perfection. There's Paper. They're running through anyone they can find, but the threats are below them. Our 2nd place team is down on the low ground as we know they play best, and we still have Clicks and Booga on the high ground. Big names in this lobby, all trying to jockey for positions and try to set themselves up for this victory. We still see Slacks in this as well. So
oh my god, no, this is
Acorn
in
still there as
second.
well. Stretch collides. Sap is there, so they're still holding on. These are literally the biggest names in NA East, and they've all come out to play in this game.
Sap, man, talk about a clutch right there from Stretch. And NPen wins that exchange in the box there. Their second height, they're still up top, which means they're trying to just ride their... Does end up getting taken out there to Slacks, and now here's that low. This is where these guys play best, though. We've seen Commandment clutch out over and over, and he's got the success card in his pocket here. It's that shotgun, and he lets
Bucky
clutch,
I think.
He's here to use it. It's a huge one, and Commandment has been putting up highlights after highlights all day long.
This is it. How many points can they rack up? They need this victory out right now. This is their chance to cement themselves in first place. Commandment goes out. He has the bounce pad. They need to use them. This big epic charge. He's put out so much damage this weekend. Honestly, Commandment, you are one of the best in the game to do it. Sentinel drops back for the healer.
Come on.
Booga goes for the healer.
Booga.
Sentinels Booga versus FaZe Centered. Who has more meds? I have to think it might be Booga at this point. He gets
Booga! Booga!
He's starting to feel a bit nervous. He's not as
This is it.
No, Centered doesn't have the meds.
Booga! Let's go!
So far behind.
Let's go, Booga.
But it's all about our World Cup
Yours is behind.
But we're in the same one though.
We have an absolute tournament on our hands.
Listen, we're going to have to radio in for some support here because Commandment, my friend, you are putting up the numbers for the team. Like, he is hitting some of the most explosive shots in these endgame moments. He's not getting enough credit, I think, to the trio that he deserves. And again, just a phenomenal comeback story for Clix, Bugha, and Bissell here.
That could be. I feel like they're going to be in sixth.
We need the second place team to jump up and they do it. But was it enough, Monster? Did they get enough points in that game?
They're in second.
Listen,
no way.
I got the radio here.
Wait, how many points apart?
My man, we're gonna need some backup from the boys at the desk. Hook me up here. Tell me what you got, guys, please.
In all, they're
Don't worry, Codus. This is Zeke. I'm on right now. I'll have settings to you very shortly. Over. All right, this is us. That's right. We're the Secret Service of Fortnite. It's Reese, it's Vivid, it's Zeke. That's right. I'm all over the place. Guys, I mean, they called it out, right? Being able to have Bugha show up with that incredible win. And this is off the back of them not having Bizzle, right? They had played as a duo for that last tail end of the game and still pulled off the victory royale.
Yeah, these guys performed big victory round, but they've been kind of inconsistent all day. So why don't you have a look at kind of some of the things that they're doing when they perform very, very well?
Yeah, so as we saw last game, they actually ended up getting third. And something that I really wanted to point out here is that the position that they were in this last game, not the one that we just saw, but the one before that. So they're on the north side of the zone right here.
Right.
And as you're seeing, this is right when the moving zone is about to pop. Now pay attention to where this moving zone goes. It goes right to the north. Now, as I saw, this is the most congested side of that zone, right? So instinctively, you as a trio may want to like immediately start and build towards, you know, where that moving zone went. However, if we look at them, they actually ended up staying behind. They ended up staying in this position and did not move a single bit here. And there's a decision that you can make. You can either stay or you can move it. And they ended up staying. And what this allows them to do is allows them to allow every other trio that was, you know, congested around them to basically build for them. And as we saw on the end of that clip right there, Bugha is breaking into the back of the tarp. And what that allows them to do is break into the back of that tarp, use that tarp for cover instead of using their own materials. So it allows them to play for a much later part of the game and secure that third place spot that we saw.
Yeah, and you know, we saw in previous other games, we saw them kind of go for that high play when it wasn't really required. And this time, this is exactly what they've done when they didn't do that, right? They, rather than going for the high play, they went for a play where they kept them on that mid-ground layer, using those old builds and stayed through. And the game we've just watched was massive from them as well, picking up the big victory, which has moved them up to 5th. But the crown slot so far goes to Commandment, Scented, and Edgy. 246 points. After
20
that
points.
Massive last game where they got 10 eliminations, that was a 45-point total. That has thrown them up into the first place slot. And Slacks, Acorn, and Jack have also managed to overtake Damir in reverse here. You know, we saw we saw Damir in reverse. You know,
yeah, I think
in that fourth zone.
They're done. Wait, what time is it? I don't know. You still got an hour.
Nero with no AR ammo at all, and wow, so you know, obviously they're early in the game before that. It was a little bit shambles. The plan didn't work out so much. And this day, you know, they've kind of slowed down
a little bit. They need to die like right off spawn or like someone midway.
So there's still 3 games left. 20 games left. They can definitely kind of catch up and try and get back into the first place slot again.
Yeah, 3 games left for the Trios on the second page here. Bucky, Kanata, and Macwood at around 180 points here. They still have a lot of potential. They still have a lot of time. You know, get some good games and hopefully get a victory out because they actually don't have any yet. And another trio that we saw in the highlight there was Zate, Saf, and Stretch. They had height for the 3rd time just today alone. And they are, you know, they're coming up the leaderboard game because they weren't doing so hot after yesterday. But they are making a statement here today saying that, hey, we can come back and we will make a run for at least top 5.
Firstly, one team's going to do it. It's going to be Zate, Saf, and Stretch. Well, let's be real. They've managed to claim the height in 5th zone 3 games in a row. But this time they did it extremely comfortably. They had 6 eliminations coming into 5th zone, which is very uncharacteristic of this team. You know, these guys are the guys who get not a huge amount of eliminations overall through the entire game, but particularly not in the early and mid game. And coming into today, you know, after yesterday's first 6 games,
came to watch FNCS.
So a really rough start for them. However, right now, their early and mid game is absolutely on point, continually getting them hyped for moving. You know, we saw unfortunately them get chopped down by Bugha, which was actually the game-winning play. That was the play that ended up managing to get Bugha's team hyped. But still, at this time, both teams playing an absolutely phenomenal game.
Get more points. And what is very, very favorable for points is Elam's right now. So we might see a lot more aggression come out.
Oh my god, a fishing rod?
So, you know, this may result in some of these top placement-heavy teams like Central come in, and as you get into these sticky situations where they're forced into fights that they don't necessarily want to take, they need to be prepared for something like that.
I mean, that's what I want to hear.
I got a swordfish.
Music to my ears because I want to see the crazy plays come out. Because now's the time to do it. Fortnite fam, as the action heats up, we gotta cool on down. We're going to a break.
I got a flopper.
Final games here on the NA East FNCS. See you guys.
I got a purple paint launcher.
Be right back.
I got another flopper. Be right back, you said?
They'll be right back. They're just replaying the thing.
Yeah, it's because they wait until like, the game's in the middle. It's boring in the middle.
With these types of stakes, we saw the craziest action and display of dominance throughout every region. Today, we're going to show you just 3 of those stories from Europe, North America East, and North America West.
For EU, it was Flecken, Aloft, Diablo, and Bayon who clinched the victory round with a thrilling heel-off.
No. Just stay in here and we'll watch FNCS together.
And win the game as a solo.
Stay in chat.
With no mounts, he's forced to go into the heel-off 29 seconds before the zone closes. The medkits can't be used here.
He's in my chat right now.
And the other team has a huge advantage on time.
Why doesn't he just join the party royale
and make a play to win the game? Dropping to low ground, he finds the most crucial elimination, netting him 50 extra HP from Siphon, 2 floppers, and cabbages. Enough to make up the time difference and win him the reboot round. You could feel the hype in this final moment.
An opportunity here, right here. Flecken has the win condition for the heel off there. But can a trio there? Okay, he found the Elim, gets a little bit more Siphon. Now he's in it. He's already committed. Gray is going to go for the med kit. He does have an opportunity to walk away. A top 3 situation here, Shio.
Strive forward, everyone now in helo mode. Gray's all the way up top. Flecken gets a big Siphon as well. MXR is trying to delay anything, but it's head-to-head. Flecken versus Gray. He's got cabbages and floppers. Gray will have to drop down and find this elimination. Flecken with the flops. Hops one over. That's his last. Gray, 2 seconds. 1. It's over. And it's Flecken with positioning, aggression, and heals to win the European reboot rounds.
Frank, look.
Now in NA East, people were playing for heel-offs too. But there was one team with a very different goal in mind.
No, I didn't. I didn't get banned on Twitch.
You got banned on Twitch?
No, I didn't.
Why was he asking?
Names
I don't know.
With greatness.
Look at Alligator.
No matter what team they were on, these guys chose to attack the POI with the most explosive potential. Hydro 16.
Look at the screen.
Endgame gave us the pleasure of watching the classic split this trio does so well, making sure no one could touch the
Wait, why do you think I got banned on Twitch?
From all angles. In EU, Hype changed hands.
Telling you right now, Dom.
Stop, bro! I'm trying to fish you. Come here.
Their throne.
Right.
No bounce back zones. Everyone on the ground ran out of mats. Looked so low, and they didn't even have to touch the reserve of heals they had. They made their performance.
I want you to come here so I can come on you.
This was one of the most legendary comebacks.
I just hit someone for shield. I'm doing damage to myself.
So he's mega.
You know what rhymes with mega?
He's in phase.
You know what rhymes with mega?
Bigger.
Look at them. Look at them. They're purple, Frank.
He's pushing back in. He knows he doesn't have it. He can't get the med kit off. That's it. As long as Stretch heals this, Zayt, Saf, and Stretch.
87 subs. Let's try to hit 90.
Stretch holds on to his history.
Try to hit 90 by the end of FNCS.
Expect the unexpected. Coming into
what, subs?
Yeah. I need 3 more.
Each team had an equal chance of clinching that victory royale and qualifying for the finals. The way Jeffers, Union, and Dardis clutched up had the heal-off meta involved with a little bit of spice. Dropping Holy Hedges, there was a ton of heals to be found. 6 Chug Splashes along with more from a Loot Llama, with some additional seasoning of 6 peppers to speed up their luck and position on the map. In the final duel in NA West, it was time for
comment on my one of my recent videos so I can sub you.
Trio, who was slated to come back and win the reboot round, had it all in the bag.
Comment on the the video that clip that I made today, so I can sub you.
His history.
Splash's there. Does he have enough to put pressure from high ground though? He's got to keep Chug splashing. Got to keep throwing. Got to keep going for it. No, there's a player on the other side. Is he gonna go down? He got knocked. It's Vert. Vert's in the zone. It's Vert versus Jeffers. Vert has to find Jeffers up on the high ground, but Jeffers has the peppers. He's popping a pepper. Chug Splash is going through. The medkit won't matter. Vert has to go find him, and Jeffers says, "Toodaloo, I will see you in the finals. You'll be watching. I'll be playing, baby."
5 points the guy had.
Teams go. Will the addition of aggressive fighters, historic legends, or a team that gets one more chance at fame change the story of the FNCS finals? We've made it past the reboot. Now it's time to play out the rest of the game. Keep your seatbelts on, Fortnite fam. We'll see you at the finals.
There's someone else with Donkey right.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to the FNCS. It's Zeke, it's Reese, and of course, it's
Are you
Vivid.
subbed to me?
I must let you guys know on the way over here, I was eliminated, but it's okay. Vivid, he got the reboot on me, so I'm back. No problem. We're good. Ready to get back into the action. We only have 3 games left before we crown the FNCS Trios champion from Chapter 2, Season 5. So grab your spots on the battle bus because we are about to go into game
Are you subbed to me?
4. This is it, Fortnite fan. Let's send it over to our casters. We've got Ozzy Antics. We've got Monster D-Face. We've got our game. Over to you.
If Vivid isn't there to pick you up, Ozzy will be, because, you know, one of us two are going to be going head-to-head here soon. But let's get back into the action. We're here
Donkey_YT, it's my username.
From Clicks, Bugga, and Bizzle, Ozzy. And after that short break, I mean, we got to catch back up. Let's get back into these.
We got to catch back up because we've just seen how quickly this leaderboard can shake up. Yes, we now see Commandment Sense and Edgy having a lead over the rest of the lobby. It's not as severe as what it was before. We're looking at about 21 points on second, but they're now 30 points on third, which is Dame, Miro, and Reverse. So again, we're just showing how quick this narrative can change. If one of these teams goes down early before any of the placement points, like Reverse 2K's team did, instantly it shifts because, man, Commandment Sense and Edgy right now, the consistency today is unreal. 14 eliminations second place, 5 eliminations 7th place, and a 10 eliminations second place sees them up in first place.
Yeah, whoever's
and they do get
wait, what?
South first zone.
Yeah, not only that, just to keep
whoever's in chat right now, just what's up? Just say hi in chat or something. Got 2 people up in here. Share your friends, please. Trying to hit 90 before the end. That's my goal before the end of the week. 90 subs.
Just a running highlight reel. We're gonna hop in with Zypha, Nut, and Twexto, having a rough day today here so far, only accruing up 4 points after the first 3 games. This is a fight that means a lot for this trio. We were talking about how they had such a great start yesterday, and now today just a rough day too here. They're going up against COD, Genesis here, Voyo, and Pandush though.
Yeah, they're going up against a team that knows how to fight this area as well. Corners not so much up on the weather station, but a team that has been putting up good fights, but right now they got Nut, Twexy, and Zypha on their tail. That is a very scary team, and with that big upgrade attack on Zypha as well, it's gonna be very scary for this team as they work their way down, investing a lot of material. And Vivid talked about this as well before we threw it to break. Teams are gonna start getting anxious to get their points up there. They're gonna start taking more aggressive fights, and you need to be able to back yourself. That's where you're looking at teams like Damir and Reverse to hopefully hold on to this, because they've been winning their mid-game fights, and they're gonna need to, because any of those teams at anywhere in the top 5 on the leaderboard, they could have their entire tournament ruined by just another team trying to jump up and overtake them.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to have squads come up, overtake your hard-earned fights, but, you know, it's off the backs of how good you can play. At the end of the day, there's no one to, you know, put the blame on other than yourself and your gameplay. Stretch is going to find Predator in the feed there, which means the Hydra Dam contestant is still going on. And you know what? Big shout out to Zate, Sap, and Stretch, who managed to pick themselves up to 9th place. I know we've been gassing up how Clicks and Bugga and Bizzle have rocketed their way up to the top, but it goes without saying that so are other trios here. They're still putting up big fights. There's still so much on the line. This day 2 means a lot, and it means a lot for this trio as well, as Nut and Twexy do end up wrapping things up here. So the console FNCS champion still in the playbook here.
Didn't they win yesterday?
Right now, we saw it yesterday. We saw Nut rocking the champion pickaxe there, and I don't know, maybe gonna have to hand it up here. It's gonna be almost impossible to get it. You only have it for that one season while you're the champions.
Bro, 88 subs right now. Come on, two more.
No, I gave you one. I gave you your 88 for my second.
Thank you, Dom.
Right now, they need to play from behind. They need to pop off and get back into this one. But you can't even. It's not even just this FNCS and this weekend where these teams have been so consistent as well. Right now,
the first subscriber was your cousin.
Came top 5 last FNCS Monster. Let that sink in right now. We are really watching the best of the best, not just today, not just yesterday, but across seasons clash. And whoever comes out on top is going to be unarguably the best and most consistent team in NA East.
These are the best trios, yeah, definitely over the last year or so, and still here putting up those big numbers. And like I said, I keep bringing up these FNCS invitationals from the solos track that we had, because it's the same names that were there that have found themselves just great trios, or just, you know, had the time to prove to everyone else that they can do it as individuals. So we're looking at individual star players with the firepower, with everything they need to bring it all together, and we're also seeing how they perform as a team. And we're talking about what the difference is between solos and team-based game modes. There's a lot less randomness, right? When we get to these trio-based game modes, you have so much more maps, eyes on the field, right? Skill coming together. That's what raises the entire tide.
It does, and that's why you're seeing teams like Commandment Sense and NG.
Hold up. Never mind.
An incredibly aggressive Zate team. The second game was also at the hands of being contested when they're not used to it. But other than that, across all their other games here this weekend, they have been insanely consistent. And that's why you're regularly seeing them make the end game. And that's why I put so much pressure on them last game to jump up and have that huge performance. Because it's not often that you see one of the teams in the top 3, or in last game's case, the team in first, go down before any placement. If that happens again to either Slackjack, Acorn, Day Mirror Reverse, or Commandment Sense and Edgy, that is their moment to cement themselves, as Sense's team has done.
2 minutes till item shop.
This team is so consistent. If you haven't been following them, not just in trios, but across game modes, I actually got the chance to do an interview with Jack, and I have to say, he's one of the most underrated players in the world with this performance.
Yeah, I'm leaving. What was that?
1 minute. Oh my god. Should I buy, what's her name? Should I buy McCone right before she leaves? I feel like they're gonna keep them in for another day. Bro, they've kept the icons in for like a year. They've been there for like 3 days. Bro, like there's so much trash.
Chun-Li looks good. I'd get it, but
I haven't. Why don't you get it? You have 4,000 V-Bucks.
Nah, bro, I'm getting Battle Pass for me and Buffalo, and then getting tiers. Alright, here we go. 13 seconds. 15 seconds now. Come on.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Travis Scott. Oh.
Superhero skin.
Okay, the biggest shop of all time? Oh my god! The shop's infinite! You can just keep scrolling!
Shop isn't even that good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you could just keep going up though. Oh my god, let's go on to Doug's locker? No way, man. I definitely wanted that. The Mandalorian? No one's seen that much rapscallion decent. Oh, the hero bundle? I'm gonna have to refund it. No, I can't refund it because I have everything in it. No. Oh, bro. Literally looks like you belong in Fortnite. Oh, bro, I kind of want one of the other superheroes, bro. Backlash is actually looking pretty good.
Hey, what's up, Zach? Like up the stream. Trying to hit Joel Jalatara.
If you hit 90 subs by 8:15, you have to give me a superhero.
8:15?
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Come on.
I'll get a superhero skin. I'll get a superhero skin if we hit 90 subs.
You'll get one?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I can't promise.
There's no point in making more accounts.
You're so. I'll gift it to you when it comes out again.
No, that's weird.
Alright, then you gift me Battle Pass.
No, because you can't get Battle Pass in Debo.
Yes, you can!
I've literally tried, man. It does not show it to me.
FNCS, guys! What's up, Zach? Alright, time to watch some FNCS.
They placed in 3rd place. You currently
Booga!
With his new team in 4th place, only 1 ahead of Clicks. So I know they split on good terms. I know
1 point ahead of Clicks.
You know, there's always that bit of rivalry, right? You don't want to have your old teammates outperform you. So there is going to be a lot of love lost here potentially if they run into each other, especially being that close on the leaderboard. Scented Edgy Commandment go for an aggressive play and Scented gets punished for it. And we see those big shotguns in play again. Scented not having the Dragon shotgun this game, which usually kind of plays into their.
Oh, we're watching FNCS. It's like all the good people face up against each other.
Zach doesn't know what FNCS is?
Guess not.
Oh, gosh. Tell me trash.
I mean, he only plays it just to, like, fool around and stuff. I mean, he doesn't play it to compete or anything.
He's so trash.
They get the finish. Scented still up. Can they pick him up here? Because this is about to be so bad for our first place team. It looks like they're duking it out with Mars on 33 points, who is below the surge, which explains why they played that so aggressively. Do they pick up Scented? This is crazy.
Oh, no. Yes, they do. They find Mars just in time, and Edgy does manage to save his teammate, and now Commandment is down, though. He's going down the river. I think he's just
about 3 people right now.
He might be in the river here.
Oh, let's go with 15 guys. This will be so good.
Wow.
No way this team lives.
We have players going downstream. We have Edgy trying to fight his way in the back of the top against another team. He's only got about 40 health, man. The courage of this team. Edgy goes down. He's getting pushed out into zone. Monster, we love Fortnite so much, but what is happening right now?
We like Fortnite.
Oh, now they have shields, bro. What the heck? Bro, how did they not get killed?
This is first place team right now, Zach.
Yeah.
So they pretty much need to die like now.
First place means that they're winning.
Oh my god, bro, they need to die like now.
Builds though, look at this, they just don't have the freedom just yet.
I mean, I can breathe now again. Like, this is my prediction as well. Me and Vivid have kind of put a little bit more spice on it right now, challenging each other here. But these are players that have played so consistently, and you want to see them continue to dominate as well.
Oh, that's sick.
Close. I have no idea how they survive that. They're now inside place and points.
Wait, how?
Any points they get now will try and push that lead that they have over every other team in the lobby. I haven't seen Slackjack and Acorn be too loud here in the feed. I haven't seen Daymir reverse either. So right now, we have eyes on our first place team and they get first rotating zone. But look at the builds.
Oh,
I see
man.
Edgy with 31 builds total, and this is going up and across that hill. It's not the big
wait, so
area, but
how do you zoom in?
elevation that they're gonna have to overcome.
Yeah, for sure, and that means they're gonna have to jump down to the
oh, there you go.
look for a fight, and then take the map and hopefully replenish their way on up to the top, which gives them a very, very small window to actually do that. The execution here is going to be a close one as we look to the high ground. Clix, Bizzle, and Bugha managed to maintain and hold it again. When you saw the fly-through stat before,
is that better?
They're effectively averaging as many points as a victory royale coming into these rounds here. One of the biggest stride comebacks that we have seen any trio do, and way to do it here. Way to do it now. FNCS Day 2 Finals, when you need to put up these numbers, but there's still these 3 big games to go in front of them. It's 12 games of Fortnite and the weekends today, and right now we're only on round number 10, so they've done great so far, Ozzy, but it's not completely over yet.
Let's go. Good comeback.
It's not just on them as well. Currently in this game, of the 17
Bring gears up. You're seeing this right now, right?
14 of them are in the
Mine's probably delayed.
Insane.
Clix is on height.
Yeah, I see him on height. He just beamed somebody. No.
Oh,
no.
Clix is going up right now.
Yes. You're tuned.
Let's go.
Good comeback. Oh, but the number 2 team right now is still alive.
Bro, they have height again. Bro, they got this.
Oh, this team.
Bro, the one guy is wasting so many mats.
How is
yeah, they've been alive.
I know. This is the number 1. But the top 2 teams are alive. It's not good.
And look at this. This man can tarp like this. He makes decisions like this on elevation changes, and we've seen how lethal his shotgun aim can be. This is why they're in first, but this is going to be one of their most challenging games. As just look,
they have height, big time. They can spray. Bro, this is actually.
This is such a good zone for them.
Come on. This is it. 100 points right now.
This
is perfect for them.
To the way in this tournament here, and they have to continue to pop off. And Sentin trying to figure something out.
Edgy! He's down! He's down! No.
And now he has lost so much HP, he can barely
he's got mad.
through this, and it's all enemy builds too. It's so close, but he's still holding on.
Zone goes across a little bit right now. They have 8 eliminations.
Yes, let's go, Dom. Let's go. Dom. Bro, this is it. Nah. Zach was wondering who I was playing with.
Twins, you have to give me superhero. If they win the whole tournament.
Nah. If they win whole tournament, me and you get superhero. You get superhero.
But I want another one. Please give me one.
Bro, this is it. Yes, let's go.
Oh, come on. Oh no!
They're above them.
This team's in 4th.
Come on, bro. They need this. They're all alive this time. None of them's dead. Their health isn't really the great. I mean, Clix. Come on.
Anyone can take it. It means everything for all of the teams here.
Yeah, definitely, and we're just looking at the victory lap here for Clix, Bugha, and Bizzle. Are we gonna watch a back-to-back victory?
I'm pretty sure they win, because he down the 4 with run after the game because of the delay. Yeah, he won.
Yes, let's go. 130 points. Look at that.
Clix is on the 4 with run.
Continue the stride because they're picking up all the points.
8 eliminations back to back. We see it.
Let's go.
Clix says that they're winning the next 2 games.
10-point monster, but they now skyrocket themselves up potentially into the top 3.
Wait, what's going on right now?
Again, the back-to-back
he said he thinks they're gonna win the next 2 games.
It's almost over. They're gonna
Bro, they need this.
Commandment held on, but he fell just short. But honestly, right now, this is the story of Clix, Bugha, and Bizzle with a legendary
I'm not gonna be able to finish watching it. I have to go to soccer.
It is definitely a comeback story.
I'm gonna miss the last game.
I forgot the 1 point.
Will make the difference.
Yo, I'll be live. You could just watch it.
They have the +5, +6. They keep breaking those thresholds. They're gonna keep racking in.
Nah, but like when you go to soccer, like on your way.
We've said enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
the desk. Give me what you got, guys.
Hey, baby, don't call it a comeback. Bugha's been here for years, okay? All right, listen.
No gym tomorrow, right?
This game was pretty fun for me specifically. Because I'm hanging out with Reese and Vivid in the back, and every time things seem to go wrong, these trios say, no. check this out. We're talking a revive. We're talking about Scented pushing the bounds. We're talking about Clix Bugha just showing up, getting the back-to-back, this time with 8 eliminations in case you missed the last game. They got a Victory Royale as well with 7. Boys, these guys, they're coming back strong.
They just got their 2 dumps.
And we're going to actually be looking at a couple clips here from teams and what they need to do to give themselves the best chance possible. Now, Macwood, Bucket, and Kanata have been hovering around the top 10 slot today and from yesterday as well. So, like, what do they need to do to edge themselves over that little threshold there? And honestly, watching the Elim trade and watching these guys play today, it seems like always when the first or second moving zone pops, they get into a little bit of a fight, and one of them always seems to go down. Now, what's good about it, though, is that they follow it up. Whoever, the last 2 people alive always followed up with a couple Elims on that team that took out one of their players. But after that, they're just a duo, you know. I swear it's happened so many times today. So if they can find their rhythm, you know, start making plays as a whole trio, they will fly up the leaderboard in these last 2 games.
Big guy.
Yeah, we've talked about that, like how players are needing to
Bro,
stick
they've
together.
gained like almost 100 points.
Very well is Bugha, Clix, and Bizzle. You know, these guys have just been performing over and over again here. Like, these times today are absolutely on fire, and we know we need to, the whole point of this is we want to talk about the teams and what do they need to do if they need to get into that top 3 slot. But to be honest, Clix, Bugha, and Bizzle have already made those adjustments, right? They are already performing over and over again. They just need to be consistent in what they're doing.
Yeah, they have definitely turned around. Their first 4 games on day 1, they did not place better than 12th place, and now they're picking up back-to-back victory royales towards the end of day 2 here. They have definitely found their rhythm. They are making plays. They are taking people off fight, and they are just dominating from the high ground.
Absolutely. Huge plays from these guys. You know, we've seen them over and over, a little bit less consistently than other teams, right? We've seen them have big pop-off games here and there. You know, we've not seen them have the same consistency as we've seen Clix's teams today. And some kind of guys like, let's be real, Set and Command Edwin. Those guys have just been going crazy today. So hopefully all these teams are going to need to continue what they're doing, but get those big games. There's only 2 left.
Now that the trio's like firing on all cylinders, right? They've had these 2 games back-to-back. You know, Vivid, I gotta ask myself, like, could they do this? If they could just keep doing this, right? If they can find that
watch it on my stream
where they could just be in the exact same position, they could potentially continue this streak.
Alright, see ya.
This right now.
You know, Commandment Center and Edgy need to have a bad game to give anybody else a shot here. You know,
yeah, that's actually facts. Like, look at them. Like, on like
they need
50 points.
And then I saw like one of them get knocked, and then I was like, oh, like no, this is a bad game. We're having like, and then they get the res off. They have like no mats, and then you know they pan off them for like 3 minutes, and then we come back to them, and they have like 100 build Gs or something like that. I'm just like, okay. Like, I'm not sure where that came from. Like, that was like the most shambles game ever, and they turned it into an absolutely like beautiful point game there, and they are maintaining their first place slot on the leaderboard. But Clix, Bugha, and Bizzle are going to be soaring up to the 4th place slot here, trailing by 50.
Alright, we're going back to lobby real quick. Yo, Ben. Clip carried that game. Clix carried that game. 6 kills. I don't know. I mean, they have a chance. I mean, like, they need 50 points. I mean, it's really close. It's anybody's game. If I'm being completely honest, first place has to fuck up. They need to mess up if anybody else wants to get it. There's no way. Yeah, like, what's it called? If they keep up what they're doing, they have a great chance. Yo, Birdie, you gonna watch the rest real quick? Alright, bet. Yeah, I did that. That's all I've been doing. Do you want me to turn off my HUD scale or like put it to 0? Because I will if you want me to.
Real potential here for Day, Miro, Reverse UK, Slacks, Acorn, and Jack to just outperform everyone and play exceptional.
Yeah, I'll put my HUD scale to like nothing.
We've seen how quickly it can change up when the team turns on the heat right now. We have Clix, Booga, Bizzle doing it. They had a very, very struggling day one to start the first 3 games, and we talked about it last game. They are averaging a victory hour worth of points a game in their last 6 games, and that was the stat before they just picked up their 2nd victory hour in a row with 8 eliminations. So they are absolutely... and Edgy are playing so consistent. That 4th place with 9 eliminations right now. They really are playing almost perfect Fortnite. They need to maybe just hold on to it that little bit longer. But as we saw a few games ago, if they go down in 1st place, everyone is so close and they will overtake them.
Yes, sir. And now look at this. Sensei and Edgy have never lost an event. When in first going into the final game. Let that sink in. Now, what that means, though, is that we still have a round of Fortnite in front of us, depending on how...
Alright, I don't know if it's me, but any Mogul Master skin is good. I'll tell you that right now. Like, there's no bad one.
We've seen big legacies
he had to go to soccer practice.
In the Heath, we saw the Calculators team had to win the reboot round for him to continue his legacy of making it to every FNCS finals. Unfortunately, that one had fallen. We've talked about how Zate is one of the 2 players here today, like Chap, who's placed top 10 in every finals they've appeared in. Zate's currently in 10th, but Chap is way down there. So today is the day.
Chinese and German are probably the best.
Stories to be made here because we are creating legends. We've talked about.
Yeah, he's wearing Chinese.
The legends of low ground.
Booga's wearing soccer skin. I don't know what Bizzle's wearing.
Losing event when going into the final game in first. That means they handle the pressure, and that's what they're going to need to do here today as well. Though they came 2nd place last finals. Now they want to come out on top though, and they were pretty close as well. But it ended up being about a 24-point difference.
Everything's all good. You can hear it.
Last game, so they need
just making sure
and hold on to this one.
Yeah, it's crazy how much of a difference it's been, but also how much of a difference it hasn't been because it's the same teams showing up. You know, for the last 2 finals, basically giving us what's the word? Is it not a trilogy, but whatever that next one is? Is it the sequel, right? What comes
Duology?
Next here?
I'm doing the same thing. I mean, we make Fortnite sound fancy. Come on. They are giving us that. I mean,
I'm gonna get another beer. I'll be right back.
I mean, we've got multiple FNCS this season. We could potentially see a trilogy, and with these teams, with these players showing up, remember, we've talked about it, Monster. Top 3 on the line right now will be automatically invited to the next finals. And when you look at the top 3 right now on the leaderboard, they are 3 teams that all came top 5 last finals and stayed together. So the big names are sticking together and they're performing consistently. So
yeah, Acorn literally actually made it. That's pretty funny.
That's right. That's exactly what we're looking at here. Acorn, Jack, and Slacks, though, that's their drop.
The only one that does tournaments, I think, I don't know if more people do it, but like the only one that does tournaments that I know of is, what's it called? Kiwis. Anybody else? I don't know, but like, all I know is Kiwis does tournaments.
On the day here today, averages them way up though. This is still a great performance. Don't count them out. They're in 253 overall, pretty much neck and neck with our Slurpy Swamp team of Slacks, Acorn, and Josh.
It's a phenomenal performance by anyone here today, and that's what you want to see. It is so close coming into these final games of who can just hold on to it and who can handle the pressure here. We've proven that Damir and Reverse can do it. They went into the last game in first place, and they held on to it last FNCS.
Of course.
So we'll see right now, but Jack, Acorn, and Slacks are used to playing catch-up as well. We still saw in the feed that there was big fights breaking down over that RPG at the Hydro Dam. I've talked about it. That is also their win condition. If they can play aggressive, maybe say, hey, we're going into the last couple games in third. Let's not play to hold this.
What do you mean?
Let's play to win and overtake. Let's play a bit more aggressive, and we're seeing a little bit of that here, Monster. We're seeing a few teams go down early, a few players, but ultimately, in this 12-game format, 10 games in with our second last game, everyone is still playing their hearts out here today.
Yeah, for sure. It's still a race here. Immensely taxing. It means so much to not only the pro players, but for the fans involved as well, because you get to root them on for rounds after rounds of Fortnite competition. And listen, we talked about moments. It's not just, you know, clutch ups from here and there. No, we're looking at full on 3v3s, full on collision courses of the best teams in the world, especially in the region, going head to head. Like, we're looking at content and footage here that's going to last the test of time here.
We are seeing some of the biggest names in NA East from World Cup days going all the way back, clashing at the very end. We've seen a few attempts at solo clutches like Commandment last game coming in fourth, but as you difficult right now.
It's lagging so bad.
Big placement points because you have those full trees.
I mean, it's not like it's not like it's endgame or anything. So I mean,
consistently playing healthy, and we have a few people playing upset though as well. Klicksburg and Bizzle have jumped up massively. There is so much. They all have such big legacies, and that's what NA East is about, right? We have players who have been at the top for such a long time, trying to hold on with other players trying to jump up and take their positions. Slacks, Jack, Acorn as well. They haven't really had their moment like we saw from Damir and Reverse to up and do a little bit more, because I've been talking about how I think they are some of the most consistent players in the world, but people don't really focus on that consistent third and second. They look at the very top.
Yeah, you got to perform the task at hand, and the task is win, win, win. For Reverse 2K Miro, Day here, that is what they need to do. And again, one shortcoming, one short game. They fell short just a single time, and now they are trailing behind by 20 points. And that just, again, when you're looking at how
he's a fucking castle.
Apples for apples, pound for pound here.
Yeah, I saw it. I checked like 10 minutes ago.
We're watching near perfect Fortnite out of 3 trios right now, and then the just, I don't know what to call it, just the Superman stride right from team number 4, which is Klicksburg and Bizzle. Here's a squad that definitely has popped up today as well. Creo and Avery, the Victory Royale that they picked up earlier, put them in contention for my pick, which was Degen, Aegis, and Skittles, which they're also playing out of their minds, guys. These guys are all playing great, but for the last 2 rounds, in order for these other people to come back up, I'm really thinking that someone has to land on first place, second, or third, or give them some kind of clash in the mid-game here. Give them a run for their money.
Yeah, because they are playing out very stacked. In the last few games, you'll tend to see that players really need to put up big eliminations. And I was going to say, we've been talking about those consistent teams that have been staying together.
All right, hold up. We have a back to FNCS. Back to FNCS. Here we go.
Trios, as Commandment sends Edgy, make a really wide rotate here. Remember, they're dropping out of Misty Meadows, and they're dropping it over here more towards Dirty Docks. So very deliberate rotate from these guys to bring them onto a less congested side. But do they have their Storm Surge tags?
And so let's just think about this. How much pressure is going to be alleviated from a trio if they qualify into top 3, right? Yeah, of course we want the active champions. Of course that's what you're fighting for. But at the end of the day, you want to be coming back here to the big final stage. It's secure that top 3. That'll punch your ticket. That'll lock in your number. This is well. So there's so much more riding on the line outside of the cash, outside of the active champions, outside of the bragging rights of being the #1 team in the world. But it is still a matter of putting up for these last 2 rounds, and now we're watching our first place team right here get a bit contested. Sented's gonna get a beam. Oh, that's a shield crack as well. Uh-oh.
And they're going to tend to hit the rotate around this mountain here. You're pretty sure Sented Edge and Commandment, they wanted to go straight through that one. They wanted to white line it to the next zone, but unfortunately, some big shots laid down. They're going to have to go around the outside, and that's where the loot comes into as well. Coming out of Misty Meadows, do they have the chug splashes? So important when you have to heal up the entire team as well. And you talked about the money there as well, Monster. I don't think we've highlighted that enough here right now. The first place team is going to walk away with $50,000 each. Each player is going to get $50,000. Second place, $35,000. So that extra 1 place on the leaderboard gets you $15,000 each. We have the lion's share of over $500,000 going up for Lion here today. And then we have obviously EU this morning giving away over $1 million, Monster. Like, this is truly life-changing amounts of money.
Yeah, and once we jump into that last game, we'll be calling it. You're going to watch tens of thousands of dollar box fights on the line when these guys start going head-to-head. And, you know, there's no other way. Like, how is that not exciting? You put everything else aside. You just look at the cash that's on the line here. That in alone is enough to bring jitters.
Storm Surge, guys. Oh my God, Storm Surge! Oh my God! Oh my God, guys! Storm Surge.
As well on social media, you saw Hen Janice and Chapix flexing the champion's pickaxe. Right, they're walking away with hundreds of thousands of dollars, and everything I saw them posting was about pickaxes and the clout and the pride they have in themselves as players. Because again, these guys have been putting in so much time and effort. As we talk about the money, but I guarantee a lot of them are just doing it for the love of the game, and they want to perform and they want to gain that respect from their peers. Miro Day and Reverse have done it once, but like I talked about, specifically for a player like Reverse 2K, who I think for having won an FNCS still doesn't get the respect they deserve. They really have something to prove, as Sented Commandment Edgy in first place have everything to prove, everything to hold on to right now.
This is the first place team right now.
The Low Ground Kings. They came second last FNCS, coming over from NA West where they performed so well, people doubting whether they could do it on East. They've proven they can come second, but can they prove that they can win on this region?
Yeah, that's all they're literally missing here. And I mean, listen, it doesn't matter what the results are coming out of this. What they have done today will be cemented in the highlights for a long time. Like I said, these are some of the most explosive games.
I have such a good community, bro.
Performances from the low ground.
16 views in a video that I made earlier today.
Honestly,
and then I made a video, me and Dom clutched up. Literally got like probably 40 on it. I don't know.
They needed that surge as well, because even with those 2 big tags from the legendary heavy assault rifle, they're still not that healthy. They're only 90 above here, and they've lost Bizzle. So this is down now to Booga and Clicks. We saw them on the high ground win that game as a duo earlier today. So
dang, Brody actually left
again, because this is not looking fantastic for a team that's now in 4th place and seeing themselves just rising up the leaderboard. The snipes come out and they just don't connect here. But this is a team that's already done phenomenal things, especially Booga, World Cup solo champion,
there's Booga.
top 3 last FNCS, but Clicks, NRG Clicks, one of the biggest names,
20 points behind her now
in the scene, needs to prove that he's still got it here today. Played insane, first place in their qualifying week, first place in the heats, but when it comes to finals, Clicks is notorious for just falling a little bit short. But right now they are bringing it back in a big way, but as a duo it's going to be hard to hold on to.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard to hold on to. So let's go ahead and check this out here. Click sitting in the bush now, trying to just slide his way on up, make this rotate through, and man, we've seen them have such a huge stride on the comeback. But you brought it to my attention that Bizzle is definitely down and out of this trio. So, you know, I want to know the story there. What is happening? Have we seen the crazy run come to
bro, Bizzle, you can't be doing this, bro. What are you doing?
Make it happen as a 2-man team. I mean, they secured the win in the last game just like that too. So, you know, anything can happen here.
Is possible, and they're in the zone right now. I'm just worried about their surge, but we dipped below it. I think this is the first time this weekend, or at least today, because again, even in these 12-game formats, at the end of the day, we talked about it earlier with Jack Acorn Slacks, right? Playing 3 tournaments back-to-back, having the mental fortitude to withstand that. Even 6 games on the biggest stage, it becomes taxing, and I think this is the first time we haven't seen an active Storm Surge on the 70-player zone. So
right Bizzle,
now, looks like players are going down a little bit earlier.
Bizzle's out. Booga and first Booga's like 20 points behind first place right now. And Bizzle's out. So yeah, Slacks. Slackles, however you pronounce his name.
Jack Acorn Slacks, a team that's so high up on the leaderboard right now, doing such
Slacks.
big things that have gone a little bit quiet, not because of poor performances, but today so far they have managed to get a 4th, a 10th, a 3rd, and a 3rd. So they're just getting inside that top 3, getting that big 6 points, but then it's stopping there. And I think the biggest issue today we've seen from the last few games, Monster, is the eliminations. Only 4 in the second last game we've seen, and then 3 in the last game. That's not a lot for the teams in the top 3. They're really putting up big eliminations.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Elim numbers, and you know what? Coming into this, our second place of Day, Miro, and Versus2K, they had more average Elims before, so they are definitely trailing behind. You can tell that things are becoming tougher and tougher as teams are starting to really hunker down here. And, you know, the Elims are swinging in different
yeah,
ways,
facts,
right?
but I mean, like, they're looking good right now. I mean, they
and when you have other teams,
don't have that far to go.
These anomalies popping up out of nowhere, because that's what it is, right? Just these strides out of nowhere. The points are being divvied out in all kinds of different directions.
They have a great chance, I'm not gonna lie.
They have 3 victory royales, and they're only in 4th place. So we're just talking about
first place. They before they got all hold on. Before they got all their wins, they were in like 8th place. So I mean, that's really good.
Last night we did see, obviously, you and me commentated the OC Finals Day 2. We saw Sync, Sorif, and Volks put up 3 victory royales and come in 2nd place to a team that only had 1 victory royale, Luda, Muzz, and Speedy. So at the same time, those victory royales are huge, but this format rewards consistency. Clix, Booga, Bizzle didn't have the good start yesterday at day 1 they needed, and they're trying to come back now, but it might not be enough as we see Kanata, Macwood, and Bucky set up on top of Day, Miro, and Reverse. That's 5th place on 2nd place. All these big teams are still in it right now. All the big teams are up. Last game we talked about it. What was that stat, Monster? 14 of the teams in the 17 that were remaining were on top 17 on the leaderboard. Like, the best of the best are making it to these end games and trying to change things up.
Yeah, absolutely. Those teams right there. And again, if they're up at those standings, that means every fight up there was worth in its own hundreds, if not thousands.
Stay back.
And now we're watching Clix and Booga being a man.
Nice.
Really chips into the surge, but they're making up for lost time here. They're making up for the man down by taking these fights.
Come on.
This is actually going to cause
get that. Nice. Let's go.
Finds a refresher here. If
get that.
The finish, he tries to grab the quick snipe shot.
The finish.
He doesn't, but he's going to take the body and throw him back. And no, now they're getting collapsed on by.
Stay back. No. Alright, they're good. They got the Elim. Let's go.
At the same time, they're in a decent part of zone. If they get zoned over here, that is a huge pickup from Clix. When the pressure was on, he steps up and he does what Clix does best. He outbox fights them, he outmaneuvers them, and gets the elimination. That's 2 points, but that is much needed surge. The biggest issue trying to duo clutch as a trio is the surge. If they pull off a good rotate or get the zone here, they don't need the materials as much as they needed that storm surge, because you're 1 man down, 1 less pair of eyes, and 1 less rifle to get that damage. As Censored Edgy Commandment still up as a full trio right now. We get the beautiful panning shot of how this trio is doing it. They play so close together.
Oh no! Yes! Let's go!
Sensen tried to pull out the dragon shock and he wanted the big shot onto that team. They're below.
Let's go! This is it! Yes! Let's go! First place is done! First place is out! First place is out of the game. This is it. Come on, bro. They need this. They need the dub. 151 is the highest we've seen.
Everything on the line. Can they hold on to their history right now, Monster? We know if they are in first place going into the last game, they have never lost a tournament. But are they going to be in first place? They're down early.
This might be a first. This might be the first we've ever seen, and now it's up for a big finals now with first place.
Clix, let's go.
20-point gap.
Come on now.
Some of the most consistent placements and just gameplay we've seen come out of that first game. We've seen come out of that first place team of Commandment, Censored, and Edgy. They are now opening up the checkbook for everyone else. And the question is, how much are they willing? Still up to these other trios to make this last game count, to make this game 11 mean everything for them, because if they don't get points here, they lose their opportunity and it will be gone forever.
Hey, I put my name and reputation on. I've gone toe-to-toe with Vivid here. I've called it out. I have put everything on Censored Edgy Commandment. I'm devastated to see them go down, but as a viewer, as a spectator, someone who
get 145 before, please.
So intense. from their first.
At least you're not like. At least they won't be as far behind as they would be right now.
Last game of NA East FNCS Finals this weekend. Our first place team is down. They got 0 placement points. There is 30 points for a victory hour worth of placement for Daymir and Reverse in second place, Slacks, Jack, Acorn in third, and Clicks and Booga in fourth. Any of those teams can realistically overtake them here if they get that victory hour. And Booga's team right now is on back-to-back victory hours. This could make it the hat trick as Slacks, Jack, and Acorn, our third place team, set up for high ground. If they can take and hold this, this could be in first place.
But they get pushed down, they get pushed back, and now they do get that first full moving zone, so they will be able to play into it. It's already rotating, it's already cutting across. They're down to really figure out what it is that they want to do next. This next play is so important. They can't throw.
Oh, come on, stop lagging.
To take first. They're going to go ahead and rotate across on high ground. It's a completely new trio, one that we have not seen up top, and they're looking to go ahead and pull something through. It's a Zervo and Dusky. Dom there leading the tarp. Who can overtake them? Who can snatch up height? Or will everyone else come on?
Yo, Brody, you back?
Fight for the point that's available in the low ground. Here we are. Clicks and Booga still in the game here.
No!
Still pushing through, and they're trying to make massive efforts here. Booga.
No! Come on. Come on, Clicks. Come on.
On him to see what he can do. 2 Slurpfish has the minis, has a decent loadout here. Only 36 builds though. Zone goes back, gets a bit of breathing room to try and get more of these placement. That team on high ground, Azervo's team, is in 20th place right now. They are trying to have their big surge up on the leaderboard, and they are taking points from the teams at the top though. Jack, Acorn, and Slacks are lurking. They're hanging just below. This is deliberate positioning. If you see a team here, it means they're looking to go for high ground. He's looking up for it. They only have 14 builds on high ground. They would be dropping lower, and that's maybe the call as Acorn hits the bounce to the front side. Mars picks up Shark. Bucky's doing this as well. Aegis goes down, so our teams in the top 10 are here. But it's all about second and third.
Come on, stop lagging, bro. Come on.
Now to try and jump up and hold on to their back-to-back FNCS championship.
Here's another team, though. We see Acorn, Slacks, and Jack down low. We saw a little glimpse of Bucky still in this game. Kanata and Macwood there to back him up. Slacks is going to go on and find Crumble now as well, so that is big for them. These points, they're chipping away. They're closing the gap. Remember, it was only 20 points, and now with the placement points really starting to be diced out here, this is the comeback story from the trios that we want to see. Click still alive here. Top 10, what are you going to do to go out and put up some numbers? He's only got a blue tactical shotgun. It's going to be tough for him.
If anyone can do this, it is the big Clicks right now. He's working his way through the tops. They're all metal, so he is blind right now. He can't see where he's going. He doesn't know what's ahead of him. He just keeps finding metal after metal, but he finds a safe spot, the blue tactical shotgun. It would be miraculous to get a victory out of this 3 in a row, but what can he do? Every single team that goes down is one more point he so sorely needs for his team in fourth. I can only imagine the amount of eyes that Clicks
6 points behind right now
as he tries to close this one out. DJ goes
watch
down.
Watch chat.
Kanata's on the low ground. We're gonna hub. I don't know if we have any full health trios still in this right now.
Clicks is still alive. Still alive.
Going. He has just gotten 2 extra placement points since we last watched him, but surely he can only hide for so long. He's gonna have to find a team soon. The zone goes out. He's got no builds, and his movement right now is perfect, Monster. He is just hiding from everyone.
Jack is gonna
come on.
Top now. He's gonna make the edit onto Clicks. What is Clicks gonna do? He's on a run right now. He's been spotted.
Yes.
Great shot though. Fire into the zone. Not gonna be enough.
No way, bro. He had that. He had that.
We come to the low ground here of Bucky and Kanata still in the fight here.
All right, whatever. They still got points. I mean, what? They're like 6 behind now.
Last game interesting, and they're still doing it. They're gonna find one. Can they find 2? It's looking like it. And Bucky is on fire before he gets taken out. The follow-up from Kanata was good though. And now 3 teams remain here.
Acorn goes down. Is Slacks and Jack still in this right now? No, they are not. We have Dom and Dusky on the... This team right now, Bucky, Kanata, Macwood are in 5th place. They're squaring off with 20th place right now. So we know who this means more for. Dom has the heal on. Unless he's messed up this med kit, you have to imagine that he is going to win this game. It doesn't even come down to the splashes. Dusky goes down and takes measures into his own hands. Takes out...
All right. Going back to lobby. Let's see points. Let's see points. All right. Here we go. Alright, here we go. FNCS points. Leaderboard. Come on. Booga. Booga. Second place right now. 4 points, guys. 4 points. Alright. So, like, it's literally top 3 right here. Top 3 is... Wait, what was it? Okay, nah, bro, they lost. I don't even know, bro. They need this. Bro, they need this bad. This is all they need. Bro, this is it. This is actually really close. I'm not gonna cap. I mean, it's anybody's game from like 5th to 1st. I don't know. Really, all goes down to this. All right, let's see last. 23 points. All right, let's get. All right, we're going back in. I'm gonna see.
This is what we know. No, these guys were huge in their heat, having a 279 points total, which was incredible, right? The most on any heat on any region. And we thought, are they able to continue that? So far, their performance definitely has shown that they have the potential to take that first place slot.
Yeah, and then we have another picture from Miro, Day, and Reverse. Again, look how these guys are in sync. They are just immediately going to the same exact point at the same exact time. Just timing their shots really well. They'll look again here, you know, together.
You guys see it in bottom left. I'll be back.
How they play this game, and that's why they're in contention right now to take away this FNCS championship.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen them over and over today. They've not been showing up as much though, so I'm thinking the leaderboards will definitely have changed around a little bit. We'll have to wait to see how they come up, but you know what? Like last game, they can definitely pull off. We've seen they've been able to get, and they might be able to have that 2-time FNCS championship, in particular in a row. You know, right now we've seen Zenit, Edgy Command. We have talked about these guys a lot today, and for good reason. They have been explosive, in particular using that Dragon's Breath shotgun from Scented. You know, the amount of top 3s they've gone has been absolutely incredible, but you know, their eliminations and their ability to find these spaces in the zone is amazing. In game 10, we remember seeing them having that incredible clutch where they had almost nothing remaining, but in that last game there, they actually ended up going down and getting 0 points, I think. Let me check. Yes, 0 points indeed over that team, so this is an opportunity for another team to catch up to them and take over that first place slot.
Yeah, I was mentioning that they needed to have a bad game for this leaderboard to be competitive. And with that bad game, this leaderboard is going to be very, very interesting to look at because we know that we saw Slacks, April, and Jeff up in there. We know we saw Bucky, Sonata, and Macwood. I really can't wait to see the leaderboard.
Well, we're about to see it. Guess what? These standings are different now. They finally dropped out of that first place spot. But now, as we just talked about, Slacks, Igor, and Josh, they shoved something, okay?
I forgot who won, but like, it's really anybody's game. This time I brought a snack. Yeah. Cool. I mean,
wow. I mean, they can still pull off absolutely.
In my opinion, I'll tell you right now. From 5th.
Consistent so far.
5th to 1st.
Third,
I'm telling you right now, 5th to 1st, in my opinion. 5th to 1st.
To get that first place
there's a really good chance it's anybody's game.
And at the same time,
anybody from behind.
One of the most consistent teams.
I don't think, but I mean, like,
most consistent.
Really, all goes down
to have a bad game. You know, their average place means 7.09 so far, which is absolutely nuts. So, in order for Daymare and Reverse to get into that first place slot, they have to pick up pretty much a victory royale. And at the same time, make sure the 2 most consistent. This is going to be a good game.
I would say that it is pretty much solidified right now that anybody in that top 5 will be one of our FNCS champions. I think
what did I say?
Out of the top 5 right now most likely will not be able to take this home. So we're going to be looking at a battle between Slacks, Acorn, and Jack, Commandment, Sen, and Edgy. They are the
Oh, 5th place right now. They have a really good chance.
Then these 3rd, 4th, and 5th place trios, which are Reverse's trio, Bucky's trio, and
Holy
trio,
bro!
If they have a pop-off game, when those 2 trios have a bad game, then they are for sure in the running for taking home the championship.
Yeah, and just to be clear, while you're watching this next game, keep an eye on the elimination feed at the top left. Right now, Slacks, Acorn, and Jack, 5 points. Only 5 points ahead of Commandment, Scented, and Edgy. That's 3 eliminations right now to take them over and above. So if Commandment, Scented, and Edgy get 3 eliminations, they get a wipe off spawn, they're actually going to be ahead of Slacks, Acorn, and Jack. And so everything to play for it in your top 2. Then add everything you just
Hey! Commercial break. Here you go.
Trojan Man, I'm not really into labels like bear, otter, bears, otters, this weird buggy-eyed thing. Labels don't matter in the sexual forest, but this does. The forest is a magical place. Howl with me, James. Take the condom, James. Explore with confidence.
We back. You already know. You already know. Donkey watch, he back. Alright, stop clapping. Yeah, I'm back. Alright. Alright guys, last game. This is it. Booga, Bizzle, Clicks, FNCS. This is it right here. Come on now.
Difference right now. That is it between 1st and 2nd. So every slight advantage is gonna matter. They said keep your eyes on the feed. Don't worry.
They are in.
Very much gonna be doing that because
3rd place or 5th place.
The most exciting games of Fortnite. You have
watch top left.
Right now we have Commandment Center Edgy.
See if Booga, Clicks, or Bizzle get any points. Or if they die. If they die, stream's all over. No, we'll just keep on going with this. It's not like I can. Probably gonna get off after this happens.
Yeah, let's just not forget, of course, what is on the line outside of that. Kanata
exciting.
Find one there. Hold up though. Mars gets knocked. That's a contested drop. Does that mean Mars is going back to the old trusty Craggy Cliffs? That's what he does when everything's on the line. He goes back to what he knows best.
I mean,
this drop spot. Kanata's gonna go and finish that.
They're like, what's it called? So
there's already interesting things unfolding here in the last game.
I mean,
wait, like today's rounds are like all together.
Bucky's team in 4th and Clicks' team in 5th. Each elimination is massive, and we're setting the stage for who's going to walk out with that Axe of Champions in 1st place. But you and me, Monster, we've been talking about how huge it is to place top 3 as a team, to get guaranteed invitation to the next FNCS finals right now. Daymir and Reverse are up there. They're in 3rd right now. They're a few points down from 2nd, but everyone is close behind them. Bucky, Kanata, Macwood only 9 points behind them in 4th, and then Clicks, Booga, Bizzle right now on 241, only 12 points behind them, and they're coming off the back of 2 victory hours in 3 of their last games. So everyone is playing for this one right now.
Yeah, for sure. And let's not forget, Clicks was also down Bizzle in the last round there. It was just Booga and Clicks working their way through that last game. Just from all the trios involved. I still can't believe, though, I still cannot believe Scented, Commandment, and Edgy gave up the lead. They gave up that 1st place spot by falling early, and we see what happens when you do. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are. With the exceptional amount of gameplay coming out of every other trio here, there's no room for error. The one mistake, though, is now made this such a close tournament that in this last game, who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I don't
Booga and them right now are 4 points behind Edgy, Commandment, and Centered.
All my faith in them, my pride on the line.
Or Centered, whatever.
One of their poorer games. That's one of 3 games of the 11 we've seen this weekend where they've gone down before placement. That's it. 8 of their other games, they've stayed up. And when they do stay up, they make that top 3 so consistently. So all they've got to do is that. And we saw that stat fly in last game, right, Monster? When Centered and Edgy have gone into the final game of the tournament in the lead, they have never lost before. but they lost their lead at the very last second, the second last game. So right now, we'll see it. We have storylines developing. They're heading out of Misty, fully stacked like they used to be. Slackjack, Acorn got uncontested Slurpee. They are still looking for
4 points, guys!
I got to imagine more stuff.
4 points!
Slackjack and Acorn go for the big game. Do they look over at Hydro Dam to try and get that RPG, or do they just play the Fortnite that's got them to this point?
I don't know. We've already.
I'm not even cap. Clicks makes me so hard. Even when I just like see the words that is in his name,
that is the only thing I can think of.
I bust.
If they were to take that risk, really have to weigh your options.
No, what the fuck, bro? Fucking dumbass.
They're playing without it. I'd say no, absolutely not.
No.
I think that's fair to say as well. Everyone's played phenomenal Fortnite here. We've talked about how this format really has led not just the best of the best players here today, this weekend in the 12-game format, but how the format rewarding top 3 so heavily with eliminations worth 2. If you can really tee it together with the eliminations across 12 games, you walk away with crowning the champions as the most consistent and unarguably the best players on NA East. And that's what we're going to do here today, as 2 of them are set right now in the lead to take it. But as Vivid talked about in the pre-show, we have seen these teams go down early before outside of placement, but I want to point something out right now, Monster, coming into this final game. Slacks, Jack, and Acorn have only had 1 game of the last 11 where they have gone down without placements. Only 1 where Commandment Sense and Edgy have had 3. So right now, consistency actually does favor Slacks, Jack, and Acorn. It would have to be 1 of 2 of the games that they throw to go down before 17 teams.
Yeah, and let's just bring in, might as well rope in Day, Miro, and Reverse to this as well, because they, in the last 2, or
just to let you know,
3, they fall in twice outside of the big
bro, what
there
the
with no elimination. That's why they're hard stuck at 253. So you have to think,
just make sure sound and volume is all good.
They've given away those 2.
Like,
you know,
the sound's good.
It shouldn't happen anymore.
I'll turn it up if you want me to.
It shouldn't happen anymore.
You have to think, last 12 games that we saw of Trio FNCS Finals, that team was the most consistent on the day. They won by a solid 20-plus points over Sense and Edgy Commandment. They've had the consistency in the past. They were set up to be not only the first players in NA East to have 2 times FNCS titles under their belt, they were going to do it back to back, and that's what that team has been triumphing back to back. But unfortunately for them, it's looking like Commandment, Sense, and Edgy, Slacks, Jack, and Acorn set the pace. But here they are. They're setting up. If they can get an early trio wipe, if they can play aggressive, and look at this, they aren't playing scared. They're not trying to hold on to 3rd right now, Monster. This is the movement of a team that is trying to
let's go
with a 105 snipe to open this up. And if they push this fight, this is everything you need to know. This team is definitely not playing for 3rd.
Yeah, they have to be careful, though, because Creo, Illis, and Avery is up at Caddy's corner right behind them, listening to all this chaos go down. As the team that rotated out was Nut, Twexy, and Zypha. Jay jumps in. Jay looks for the tag. He's going to find it. It's Nut. Nut gets knocked right there. And now, yes, they do manage to finish that off. So this is perfect for the Surge. It's perfect for the points they need to catch up, because they were 30 points behind. They have
I'm gonna mute my mic. If there's like anything good, or like if they show clicks or anything, I'll just unmute.
Everyone else, and remember, their top 3 at the very least is still riding on their performance right now.
Yeah, they can't go down early here. They need to secure at least that top 3, because we know how prestigious that is. The guaranteed invite to the next finals for a team who's already won the previous. They're playing so consistent, and it's so fantastic. I talked about it earlier, Monster. Our top 3 teams are all teams that played together for the last FNCS finals, and all of them placed top 5. Slacks, Jack, and Acorn came in 5th place in the last finals, and now they're set to do it in 1st. Just seeing teams prove that consistency, chemistry, finding teammates that you can improve with and play together with is what ultimately leads to success. We're going to potentially see a podium finish today of teams that we've seen in this situation before. That means a lot going forward into a year where we have 3 more FNCSs still to come.
Yeah, for sure, and there's well over $500,000 on the line here. So if everything else wasn't enough, if the pressure of just, you know, proving that you're the best and maintaining your lead and staying performance in shape wasn't enough, it's the extra cash that's there too. It's all riding on the line here. These fights that they're taking, they're nerve-wrenching. They are nerve-wracking for them too. You have to be careful. You have to play perfect Fortnite right now, and you cannot afford to miss a shot here. You just can't.
You just can't, and even though this is the 12th game of the weekend, we still have 27 teams, 79 players. We're teeing up for what I imagine will... which we need 70 players alive by the time the next zone closes. But at the same time, I have to think players are still in this one. They're still showing up big. It's for practice, it's for pride, and Reverse gets another elimination onto Crunchy here. So they are closing that gap. We're kind of telling this story as a two-horse race at the top right now. But third place, Daymiro and Reverse, your FNCS champs, they're closing the gap with every elimination being worth 2 here, as Slackjack and Acorn are getting tagged up a little bit on this rotate as they're pushing onto Chimp, Tabney, and potentially Teo. There he is trailing from behind.
They have to be careful. Chimp, Tabney, and Teo have been on fire the last couple rounds, making it into endgame after endgame, fighting with the best of the best. So for Acorn, Slacks, and Jack right now, they may just find a team that's hot on the streak right here in top 10. It's an 8th place team. It may not be a team that's in the race for top 3 or first place, but it's a squad that still has thousands on the line here. And their reputation as well as one of the dark horse teams to really perform well this weekend, and they're doing it.
Yeah, 8th place team. This isn't an easy team to walk through right now. Jack, Slacks, and Acorn, we talked about how they've built up kind of like a legend of going for these mid-game fights, taking down full trios. We've seen that in the past, but we haven't seen it that much this weekend, Monster. That title really has gone over to teams like Daymiro and Reverse, where we talked about how coming into today, Miro alone had more eliminations than 30 teams in this field as Acorn sets up, gets the big shots. This
I just got a tweet
huge right now, when there was only a few
from Formula.
separating first from
If Acorn wins FNCS, him and his trio, he's giving everybody that likes his tweet $100. Like it up, boys. Screw Booga, Clicks, and Bizzle. I want $100.
Not just hold on to it.
Oh, and they do manage to get the knot, pick them up, and get the shakedown here. That'll be all the information that they can extract out of Teo right there. And it seems like Tabney and Chip back off, and they leave him there to be finished off and taken out. Big performance, big win right there for Slacks, Acorn, and Jack. And you know what? It's still worth a lot. Like I said, it's that 8th place team. There's thousands of dollars on the line now. If you slip out of the top 10, if you rank your way up to the top 5, the incremental pricing increase is crazy. You really want to stay in the running right now if you've made it this far.
Centered Edgy Commandment. Look at the loadout, Monster, on Centered alone right now. This is what has made this player and made this team's reputation. They are the low ground kings for a reason. Coming out of Misty Meadows, that drop spot fits their playstyle perfectly because they get that almost guaranteed Dragon Shotgun. I've talked about it. Condor, the NPC of Misty Meadows, one of my favorite characters in the game because I also love that shotgun. Centered puts it to such good use on the low ground. I've talked about this before and people have always asked, how does Centered Edgy Commandment play low ground so well with the fire spreading from the Dragon Shotgun? Centered's aim is so good that if you didn't know you hit every single pellet on that Dragon Shotgun, the fire doesn't spread because it's absorbed by the player. And that's how deadly accurate Centered is with his shots, that's why you don't see this team running around in the fire builds on low ground. That is why they are so insanely dominant and they have that win condition right now on Centered.
It's the subtle things, it's the little things, and that's what separates, you know, the normal.
I hope 2 of them get headshot sniped.
These guys are well above the average. They're cut above the rest, several, if you will. But hold up, take a look at Commandment, who's holding up this big tower here. Where is his teammates? Where is the rest of the gang? Are they inside the stealthy stronghold? Yes, they are. So they have a wide spread going on here. They have to be careful. Reverse 2K, Miro, and Day are moving up the mountain. If they sniff out, it's only one player up there. I mean, they're known to jump on those kind of weaknesses and take advantage.
They've got to be really careful. That's a big spread. And what an endgame right now. Hunter's Haven, it doesn't kind of get that same fear as what a Misty Meadows Mountain endgame does. But look at all the valleys. Look at all the hills. You've got that giant waterfall. You've got everything in this endgame. Pretty much no matter which way this pulls, it's going to be difficult for this team as you can just...
Booga!
Map, right, Monster? You'll be able to sense the terrain.
Alright, we have 151 right now.
Try to huddle up and get the prime position on these mountains to play into this endgame.
It's going to be really good. It's going to get really crazy.
Everyone wants to have their kind of under their hair in the breeze up there as Acorn, Jack, Slacks have a mountain. Clicks, Bizzle, Booga have a mountain. We saw the Commandment Centered Edgy have several mountains right now. Everyone's setting up for this endgame.
All the big names are in position. They're where they need to be. Like we said, we saw Reverse 2K, Miro, and Day just on the opposite side behind that other little mound there, sitting up underneath. Commandment, there they are, inside a building, being able to replenish all of their builds, which gets them nice and comfortable. But that's the widespread. Commandment's way over here, sensing Edgy. opposite side, they have to be careful. Even crossing back now to try to get back to Commandment is going to be a risky one. The longer they take, the more likely teams are to migrate on in. Luckily for them, there's not a lot of squads looking in here, not a lot of situated teams looking between this little crevice here, and they do get to get back, but look at the material it's costing them. That's a lot. That's a little setback for them.
And they get the tags out. Now I noticed Center was actually juggling extra meds into their builds as well. He had spare pots as well. Now they get the airdrop, so things looking fantastic for this team. 26 teams alive, 70 players. We are not going to get active surge, but we saw this last game. There was no 70 active surge, but it went down to the 50 as all the players that are still in this are focused up and they want to perform. Keep your eyes on that feed. You're looking for any of the top teams to go down. In case you just tuned in, you don't know what's at stake. This is the last game, the 12th game of the NA East Trio Finals, and you have Slacks, Jack, and Acorn in first, Commandment Sense and Edgy second, Jamie Reverse in third, and all of them are jockeying right now, trying to take that first place, as you have Bucky's team in fourth and Clicks is in fifth. So those are all huge names. If any of them go down here, it will mean everything, as if one of these teams goes down before placement, that'll be it, and we'll see players run away with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And look at the pressure going on here. Zypha and Twexy go down. I think that Stretch on the other side to pick up the loot, though. They're going to go ahead and snatch all this up right here real quick. You can see they start to mark it out, try to see what they can find. It's not going to be much, but yeah, those elims actually fall into Zayt and Saf's hands, so they don't get it. They still only have one elim, but at least they get some tags for it, so it's not for nothing.
I'm pretty sure we saw Slacks, Jack, and Acorn get that one elim as well, right? So that 5 points should still be holding right now. That is the difference. 5 points. Eliminations are worth 2. That is one trio wipe from having... There it is. That is the difference right now from first and second. And these 6 players are some of the most consistent. And honestly, I want to put it down to the most hard-working players in the community as well. Centered and Jack especially do not get enough credit for how much time they put into this game, how much effort they put into it, and how much it means to them. I know they're playing for first, not for the Champions Pickaxe, not for the prize money, but for the pride and the accolades. That's why they do what they do, and I can't wait to see who walks away with it. I have my pick on Centered, Edgy, Commandment. I'd love to be right for my own pride, but honestly, seeing either of these teams win it will be so exciting, but who is going to be able to do it? They're both heading into endgame. All top 5 teams are still alive, Monster.
Yeah, it's about the dignity, that gratification you get from taking it all. That is what these guys...
I'm actually kind of glad that they're not just like fully going on like Boo or anything.
I mean, like adrenaline that you get in these big stages here. Acorn, Slacks, and Jack, though, let's evaluate the situation.
Yeah,
looking pretty decent.
Chilling.
That's solid. Above the surge threshold as well, very comfortably. That's gonna last them a zone or two's worth. So I'm liking the position this team is in. I'm loving the load as we're circling through these 3 individual perspectives. There's just across the board, big pots, minis, and shieldfish alike. This is solid.
Slacks, Jack, and Acorn have a winning loadout. Commandment Sense and Edgy also have a winning loadout right now. None of them have an excuse for how this endgame goes, but they are set up in very different situations. If Commandment Sense and Edgy manage to get this zone on top of them, it would be massive, as we have Notch, Jam for Paper, and we have Booger, Clicks, Bizzle in 4th place. Everyone's setting up for this. We have 10 seconds. The final game, Monster. Half zone. Which way is it going to go? Who is going to be blessed and who is going to be challenged? It doesn't mean it's all over just because you don't get the zone, but we know how important this is, and it does. It pulls across to Clicks, Bizzle, and Booger. They're going up for the high ground. They're going to try and make it 4 Victory Royales out of 12. They're having the absolute Cinderella run here to bring everything back.
They want to fight. They want to fight for it, and they're not here to give it up. Harpoons are going to come out from Clicks. Imagine if he pulled someone off there. That'd be crazy. He's not giving up his opportunity to do it, though. He's still attacking all enemies in the line of sight. Here goes the Storm Surge. It is out. It is active, and that means player...
liking for how high up they are. Jack, Slacks, and Acorn also got this.
No! How do you respawn? You can't respawn?
They had a complete opposite half. Have they made the rotate, and how are they going to get here? There they are. They're making their way through the builds, but once they come out here, once they hit the open air...
Wait, bro, this is so annoying.
And what a good rotate from this team. They're splitting up a little bit, though. I hope Commandment and Edgy are going to come back up centered. Looks like they're going to try and break their way through. They've got to be careful here. There's a team in there. Centered takes some tags. This is your second place team just making it to half. Three teams to go down for placement. No one is going down early.
Yeah, let's not forget Reverse 2K Marrow. They're also out there amongst the wolves. There is so
This is it. No! Did it end? No way, bro! No way, bro! Alright, reloading him. Let's hope this works. Please, 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 please. Dang, Evans on this late? This is it.
The kings of the high ground are on high clicks, and Sentin's so low right now. And Sentin's so low right now. Commandment and
Alright, we are here. This is it.
This is their last ditch effort. Bottom right, keep your eyes on that. Everything is on them. Only 37 above. They need to hold on. They are clutching it very little right now.
Oh, Center's out.
Sentin goes down. It's just up to
Clicks is Clicks. No.
And they came into this game with a 5-point lead. Edgy Commandment. What can you
Booga got a kill. Bizzle's out. Clicks is out. No way. Booga got a kill. No! No way!
Right here for first place. Look at it. There's Day's eliminations. Day gets knocked by Saint on high ground. This is back and forth right now for all the teams that matter.
That's it.
It's so much pressure on Edgy's back. Edgy brings someone down into the box.
I mean, you can't win them all, but I mean, that would be really crazy if they won.
They're going into a box-to-box fight. Right across from them, Jack, Acorn, and Slacks. They can see what's going on, but they're not looking across. They're looking down, and the punishment comes back. This is so close here.
Edgy still picking up eliminations. We have our low ground king with no low ground to play. This is essentially a sky base. Edgy goes down. It's all down to Commandment, but he's still getting eliminations in the feed. He has one, but he is now a solo in
Oh my god.
place.
Oh my god.
He's stepping up. He's doing everything he can to hold on to this. Commandment has shown such
This guy is correct.
We've seen some of the best
I can
plays
still
I've
beat him
ever
though.
seen in Fortnite, but
He looks
Commandment
free.
needs that. Nothing short.
Looks like he
of
belongs in
brilliance will
Fortnite.
keep this team up here to take first place. You have Commandment as a solo going up against Jack, Acorn, and Slacks as an entire trio. He has no builds, trying to jump his way through this. He's dropping down. He's going to his home on the low ground, but in a zone like this, you don't want to be here. He's got nowhere to go. He jumps. That's it.
That's
Third
it.
place is down.
Is that it?
Slacks, Jack, and Acorn in first place. They are still up. This is potentially their victory lap, Monster.
Yes, definitely now, and Acorn is trying to jump down. He gets taken out. It's up to Slacks here and Jack to pop off. Pull in as much as they can to solidify
That's
this
it.
home run.
We're all done.
See if they will be able to take it home on the low ground, though. Kanata, Macwood, and Bucky here still picking up points. The race for top 3 is on for them, and they've made it all the way to top 3 here today. So many eliminations. Who are we going to see make it back? Miro is still in this. That's a second place. Miro has so many eliminations. Wait a second. First place is not guaranteed for anyone. Not just yet.
It is not.
Will the FNCS champions do it? It's so close.
They took it down. Miro dropped down there. Miro actually managed to take out Slacks, Jack, and Acorn. Third took out first there for points. Kanata, Macwood, Bucky are down there. We have Zate's team on the high ground. Kanata goes up right now. He goes off the bounce.
Oh, he got the knock.
Legendary attack
shotgun. Kanata takes down Saf right now.
If they win, yeah, I think they got this.
Kanata's team needs this. They're in 4th place. They're fighting for 3rd.
This is all theirs.
Trying to secure that invite straight into next FNCS finals. Zayt, the king of the high ground.
How did I not notice that?
Down to literally 1 tick. 10 health. Zayt falls. Bucky.
Man, they actually won it.
10 health right now. Monster.
Who won FNCS? Dang, let's see it. Real quick. FNCS. It's over. Let's see. Who is your winner for FNCS? Acorn, Jack, and Slacks, 303 points. Clicks, Booga, and Bizzle just come short. Very, very close. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's really crazy. Probably the longest stream I've probably done. We didn't hit 90 subs, which I'm kind of upset about. Yep, 87 now. But hope you guys enjoyed this. This was really fun. I'll probably do more of these, like solo tournaments and stuff like that. But it's really fun. Definitely gonna try to go back up for champs next season and do FNCS. Let's hope we don't get clapped again. But I mean, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and love you.